Daily drawing time, man. For the next 3 daily drawings, we'll be working on one drawing of a house. You'll need a piece of paper or a sketchbook, a pencil, and an eraser. It's going to look something like this. This is 3 days worth of work. We're going to start with the house and the deck. Then we'll move on to the path and the rail, and then we'll fill it in with all the extra details later. Let's get started. Okay, we're going to be using 1-point perspective. We've used it before, and with 1-point perspective, you always start with a horizon line and a dot on the horizon line. Give me a horizon line right in the middle of your page. It's nice to use a ruler if you have it, or any straight edge. And give me your vanishing point right in the center of the horizon line. The horizon is right where the sky meets the ground. Next up, give me a rectangle that sort of goes around that vanishing point. This is our vanishing point. Everything's going to vanish to that spot. Here's the basic part of our house. Now let's do the deck. For the deck, we're going to line up our vanishing point with our corner and make a line that comes out and doesn't quite go all the way to the end of the page. Do another vanishing line that comes out a bit. It's up to you. It's going to depend on how large your deck is. I'm going to have mine come all the way out here. And we're going to line those two up with a straight line. I don't want this to be at an angle. I just want it to be straight across. So I'm going to use the bottom of my page to line up my ruler. And straight line across. Draw with light pencil marks so that you can erase later. We can erase these 2 lines that vanish from here to here, because that is inside the house and we don't need it. But keep your vanishing point. Always keep that for a reference. That'll be the very last thing we erase. Now what we're going to do is divide this up so that we can have slats of the fence of the deck going back. You can measure it if you'd like so that they're all the same width. I'm going to measure a couple centimeters. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And I'm going to line up each of those points with the vanishing point. Draw, 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 and stop when you get to the house. There's the slats of our deck. Let's make it look a little more like wood by adding a little bit of a line underneath, just very close to the top there, and a straight line down here. From each of these points, we're going to do a straight line down, straight down, not at an angle, not at an angle, perfectly straight down. Otherwise, the illusion won't quite work. And now what I like to do is give it a little bit of unevenness so that it looks like real pieces of wood that are separate from one another. So I'll give this one a little curve, so that they really look like pieces of wood that stop when they touch one another. Sometimes wood warps this way or that way. Now let's add some nails going in. I'm going to draw a very light line, which you probably can't even see, and I'm going to do 2 little half circles right along that line. And those are the nails. And it's okay if they're a little closer or farther, because often in decking it won't be quite perfect. You can do 3 lines or just 2. I'm going to do 3. because I've built a deck before and I know that you need a lot of nails and screws. And erase the line that you used as your guide. Great, let's add some legs at the bottom of this deck so that it looks like it's hovering. 2 straight lines down. 1, 2, and a perfectly horizontal line at the bottom. Over on the other side. 1, 2, and a perfectly straight line at the bottom. And just so that your deck doesn't look like it's going to cave in the middle, let's do one more in the middle. There we go. Last thing for today is to add a door, and then tomorrow we'll work on the rail and the path along the side. So hopefully you have some space over here, some empty space, and some empty space over here. If not, it's okay. You can always fit it in. It'll still work. In fact, it'll look even better if it's kind of off to the side. Okay, let's do a door. Our door is going to go onto the deck. So what I'm going to do is 2 little lines right here, and this is just marking how wide my door is going to be. I need a perfectly vertical line that goes up over the horizon line. This one is exactly the same height, and it ends with a perfectly horizontal line. Don't get it off like this. You've got to really line it up with the edge of your paper. And you can erase your horizon line, at least where the house is. But like I said, leave that vanishing point. I'm going to erase this whole horizon line because we can't see it. The house is not see-through. Okay, we just need a little bit of a border around that door. We need this, boom, just a little skinny border. Same width border, same width here. And 2 diagonal lines from this point to this point, boom. This point to this point, boom. And this is really confusing me, so I'm going to go ahead and put in a little doorknob here so that I know that's not the doorknob. There we go. Good job. You've got your deck, your house, and your door. Take a photo of this and turn it in for 15 points in Google Classroom and save it because tomorrow we're going to add more.